Looking for a bead design that's real nice? Here's one just for you and a pizza slice. The pizza bracelet is a delicious design. For those who like pizza, it's more than perfect, it's divine. With its combined look, food, and fashion, it's definitely worth the price. A bracelet to wear and share with everyone. We all can have a slice. This bracelet is great, it's a simple design, and it's easy to make. So let's get ready for this tutorial to satisfy your creative needs. Feel free to give this video a like and enjoy this episode of TurboBeads. Here's your list of everything you need to make the pizza bracelet. Before starting this project, I'm just letting you know that I'm using Dritz round cord elastic string. It's a string that's got the right amount of elasticity. Believe me when I tell you it's nice. It's high in strength but low in price. This elastic string that's perfect for pony bead projects and other things. With that being said, I'm just keeping you informed, letting you know this is a personal choice, not a sponsored video. To make the pizza bracelet, the first thing you'll need is 1 foot of elastic string. Then you're going to add 28 beads to that string using the pattern you'll see here. As you can see, we have 28 beads on the string. That's 20 brown beads and 8 clear beads, with the brown beads in groups of 5 with the 2 clear beads to divide each brown section. Once you have all of the beads on the string looking just like this, you'll tie both ends of string together with a knot, which will bring all of those beads together, creating a simple single bracelet. When tying your string together, be sure that your knot is tied nice and secure to ensure that everything stays locked into place and holds together. Once your knot is tied and all those beads are locked into place, you'll carefully cut off the tied loose ends of string. As you can see, we now have this single bracelet that should look exactly like this. At this point, we'll create ladder stitch triangle sections with a color scheme to resemble pizza slices, and we'll go around the entire bracelet. This portion of this bracelet is just as simple, you'll find out why. It's just as easy as a slice of pizza pie. Check this out. But before we continue, I'm just letting you know that I'm using Esketti strings made by Pepperell Braiding Company. It's a round plastic lace that has a bit of flexibility to it, and it works great. With that being said, I'm just keeping you informed and just letting you know that this is a personal choice. This is not a sponsored video. To make the ladder stitch pizza slice, what you'll need is no less than 1 foot of string. Then you'll add 1 yellow bead to that string. Once you have that bead on the string, you'll match up both ends of string, pushing that bead toward the center of that string. This will be the first row of that pattern. Creating this next row will be just as simple, but this time around we'll be using the straw technique. So what you'll do is take a straw and split it down the center by cutting it with scissors. So just continue watching as I carefully cut the straw down the center. Cutting the straw down the center will make it easier to add beads to that straw. Basically, what we're doing is using that straw as a stabilizer for the rows of beads, keeping them straight, aligned, and in place. Now that the straw is split down the middle, we're going to go ahead and add 2 beads to that straw. So go ahead and add 1 yellow bead to that straw, and then add a red bead to that straw. With those beads on the straw, we're now going to cut off the end of the straw, keeping it from showing through the sides. As you can see, we now have this stabilized row of beads. Next, we're going to take one end of the string and we're going to add that stabilized row of beads on the string. Now that we have those beads on the string, we're going to take our other end of string and run it through those beads as well, going in the opposite direction. So just watch close as I guide the string through these beads. When you get that string through both ends of those beads, you'll pull the string evenly on both sides until you've reached the top, bringing all of those beads together. Be sure to keep those beads in a tight formation to ensure that your pattern comes out right. Now that we've finished the second row, creating the third row is just as simple. Again, we'll be using the straw technique and we're going to add beads to that straw. Let's go ahead and add 2 yellow beads to that straw, followed by a red bead on the end. This is what it should look like. Now that you have those beads on the straw, again, go ahead and cut off the end of the straw, keeping it from showing through the sides. Now that we have the stabilized row of beads, we're going to take one end of string, add those beads to that string. Then we're going to take our other end of string and we're going to run it through all of those beads as well, going in the opposite direction. Continue watching as I guide the string through these beads. Once you get that string through both ends of those beads, you'll pull both ends of the string until you've reached the top, bringing all of those beads together. As I've mentioned before, be sure to pull that string just enough to keep those beads in a tight formation. As you can see, this is the third row. Now we're on to creating the fourth row, which is just the same. Again, using the straw technique, this time we're going to add 4 beads to that straw. We're going to add 1 red bead followed by 4 yellow beads on the end. Now that you have those beads on that straw, again, carefully cut off the end of that straw, keeping it from showing to the sides. With the stabilized roll of beads, we're going to take one end of the string and add those beads to that string. Once you have those beads on the string, we're going to take our other end of string, run it through all of those beads as well, going in the opposite direction. Again, once you get that string through all of those beads, you'll pull both ends of the string until you've reached the top, bringing all of those beads together. As you can see, we now have this ladder stitch triangle of 4 rows that resembles a pizza slice. This is how it should look. At this point, we'll need to create 3 more of these. That's a total of 4 ladder stitch triangles, which will be connected to the single all the way around the bracelet. So let's go ahead and create a total of 4 pizza triangles using the same steps as we've done before. As you see here, I have my 4 pizza triangles ready to be added to the bracelet with just enough string on the ends to attach and tie off. Attaching these triangles is simple. You'll take a triangle and the single bracelet as you see it here. The brown sections on the bracelet will be treated as the 5th rows of the triangles. Basically, we're using the simple ladder stitch technique. You'll take one end of the string from the triangle and run it through the 5 brown beads. Continue watching as I guide the string through these beads. Let me be sure to mention to take your time with running the string through these beads, ensuring that you ran the string through the section of brown beads. As you should know, it should be easy to manage as the bracelet is flexible and the string is thin enough to fit within these beads. Watching this visual reference is just as easy as it seems. Remember, currently on this part, I'm running one end of the string from a triangle through the section of 5 brown beads. Once you get one end of the string through that section of 5 brown beads, you'll pull that string all the way through. Now that we have one end of the string through the section of 5 brown beads, we're going to take our other end of string from the triangle and run it through the same 5 brown bead section going in the opposite direction. Continue watching as I guide the string through these beads. As I've mentioned before, this visual reference is as easy as it seems, as the bracelet is flexible and the strings are small enough to fit within these beads. Just be sure that your string is through all of the correct beads to ensure that that pizza slice in the bracelet turns out exactly as it should. Now that we have both ends of string through those beads, you'll pull both ends of the string until you've reached the top, bringing all of those beads together. From what you can see here, we now have a pizza slice attached to the bracelet looking just like this. From here, we'll tie off each end of string with a knot to lock those beads into place. When tying your string together, be sure that your knot is tied nice and secure to ensure that everything stays locked into place and holds together. Let me be sure to mention that you'll want to get the knot as close to the beads as possible, trying to conceal the knot within the string. Remember, we're tying off each end of strings with knots that are solid and secure. With this visual reference, you'll see that tying the string in the knot is as easy as it seems. Like I've said before, you'll want to get that knot as close to the beads as possible, trying to conceal that knot in the string. Like I've said before, the objective is to tie that knot nice and secure to ensure that everything stays locked into place and holds together. Here's a perfect example of what it should look like. Once your knots are tied and all of those beads are locked into place, you'll carefully cut off the tied loose ends of string. As you can see, we now have one pizza slice attached to this bracelet looking just like this. Like I've mentioned before, the brown sections of the 5th row of the pizza resembles the crust. At this point, we'll attach another pizza slice to this bracelet using the same steps as we've done before. So just like we've done before, you'll take one end of the string from the ladder stitch triangle and run that string through a 5 brown bead section. Once you get that string through those beads, you'll pull that string all the way through. Now that you have one end of that string through those beads, you're going to take your other end of string and run it through those beads as well, going in the opposite direction. Once you get both ends of string through those beads, you'll pull both ends of the string until they've reached the top, bringing all of those beads together. Once your pizza slice is attached, you'll tie off each end of strings with knots to lock all of those beads into place. Like I've said before, when tying your string in a knot, be sure that your knot is tied nice and secure, ensuring that everything stays locked into place and holds together. Once your knots are tied and all of those beads are locked into place, don't forget to carefully cut off the tied loose ends of string. From this point, completing the rest of this bracelet should be pretty easy to figure out. So just continue repeating the same steps, adding pizza slices onto the bracelet until you've attached all 4 pizza slices. As you can see, this bracelet is easy to create with its simple steps of creating ladder stitch triangles that resemble pizza with this unique color scheme, and adding those triangles to the bracelet through the 5 brown bead sections that resemble the crust of the pizza on the bracelet. As I continue assembling this bracelet, let me know in the comments below what your favorite kind of pizza is and what color scheme do you think would look great for this bracelet. And as a quick reminder, remember to pull that string just enough, keeping those beads in a tight formation. Don't forget to tie off each inch of strings with knots that are solid and secure, ensuring that everything stays locked into place and holds together. Once your string is tied and all of those beads are locked into place, you'll carefully cut off the tied loose ends of string, and your pizza bracelet is now complete. And there you have it, another delicious bead bracelet design that looks fine and was fun to make. Hopefully this tutorial was helpful and you can create one just as great. If there's anything you would like to add, requests or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you are new or you just haven't already, don't forget that you can always subscribe if you want to be notified for more bead tutorials just like this one. Hoping you'll tune in for the next one to satisfy your creative needs. Until next time, be sure to wear it and share it. Thanks for watching TurboBeads.